wherever you want and no corner is safe. You simply can't play the finals like your typical shooter, and I love that about it. It's chaotic and unpredictable, which is really refreshing for a first-person shooter. No more camping out in corners when you can just RPG the floor and walls to expose the enemy team trying to cash out. Of course, with full destructible environments, there is a good and bad side to the chaos that creates. The good side is that you can constantly confuse and terrify your enemies as you destroy the ground they stand on and bash through any walls between you and them. The bad side is that while you're confusing your enemies, you're probably also going to confuse yourself and create an environment where you can't see a single damn thing around you. There were several points in matches where there would be so much destruction I couldn't see my teammates or enemies or where I was, and I was just constantly falling through the ground. I don't feel this is a terrible thing, but it's a lot of visual clutter and will most likely be extremely overwhelming to new players trying to learn the game and get a bearing for how gunplay and movement work. Maybe with more time in the game, it'll get easier to understand, like with Overwatch or Apex, but it definitely was a lot when trying to get my feet under me. The chaos is fun to deal with when I can actually play, though. In the original first preview version I played that was only open to a few press and influencers, it ran perfectly and never stuttered, even with the wild amounts of destruction that took place around me. However, in the current closed beta that players can enter by registering on Steam, performance has been a huge step back that I honestly can't believe this is the same game. I can barely get 30 FPS, especially when any destruction happens. The game looked like a PowerPoint slideshow at times, and even turning everything down to low and on performance mode,
definitely
the finals just couldn't keep up. There was also this awful static noise that constantly ran in the background of the game sounds that gave me a headache after trying to battle frame rates and game issues. Between the two early access instances, the finals implemented updates to help with ability and weapon balancing issues. But with each update, it seemed that the game really struggled with finding the right balance with everything. In the current closed beta, there are far too many one-shot weapons that completely sucked the wind out of getting into a fair fight. Time to kill also never really found its footing since the beta was completely different from the preview build, and the balance kept changing. I'd find myself having to switch to whatever gun was the most overpowered in that fresh update, and use that while still getting one-shot by the same weapon. The finals is, at the very least, a unique take on the FPS space, and I would like to see it succeed since its mechanics, movement, and gunplay are generally solid. But the current bugs and performance issues make me want to stay away until I know I can spare my eyes from 15 FPS. It was a huge disappointment to see the preview build and public beta build be completely different and full of many more issues. Embark being quick to adjust according to feedback is ultimately a green flag that does make me hopeful, but live service games are extremely difficult to keep up with on the developer and player sides. We'll see what kind of audience the finals ultimately attracts and holds after the beta and the full release.
Does look promising. But definitely need to make sure that the performance is good. Here's the video from IGN. Alright. A few more videos. Stray Blade. That's just the line. Okay. QTEs. combat seemed pretty good. The world looks pretty nice. I honestly like the look of it without the UI. The UI is just, I don't know. It's not very compelling. It's not really that great. It's like a simple UI design for sure. And it could work for a different type of game. I just feel like it's not suited for this game.